Hola, amigos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Fat Loss After 50 podcast. I am your host, Jim. I'm trying out a new microphone that my daughter gave me today, so we'll see how well it works. This is step 7. So if you stumbled across this video and you don't know what the blueprint's all about, I'll figure out a way of putting something up here or link in the description for start here. Go find that. Start here. And that explains it. Watch those videos through and through. If you're here today, click on the subscribe button because you are going to want to come along for this journey. I'm on a journey to lose 100 pounds in a year, and I am already down a considerable amount, 35 pounds in 12 weeks. So give me the old thumbs up here. Let the YouTube algorithm know that this old fart might have something good to say and some other people might benefit from hearing it. And let's jump right into step 7, because step 7 is now we're starting to try and eliminate the animal proteins. You don't have to go whole hog. You don't have to do it overnight. We need to start replacing eggs, bacon, cheese, sausage. You know what animal products are, right? So we're making the shift now that we've built the habit of King Prince Pauper and looking at our meals for protein, healthy fat, and fiber. We're making the shift to try and replace some or most of the animal foods to all plant foods. Remember, we're not shooting for perfection. The goal is 1 to 2 meals a week with a 3 to 4 meals a week maximum where you have any kind of animal product. And if you need to know why, go to nutritionfacts.org, also linked in the description, and look up animal protein. And you'll find all kinds of videos. All of the scientific evidence that is available as of today points to overall you're healthier if you get your protein from plants and not from animals. But we live in a society where perfection is not possible. So that's why the target is 1 to 2 meals a week, with the maximum of 3 to 4 meals a week, because there's going to be times that you have a burger or you have whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is getting more and more plant-based, because that's what our body needs. The nutrients, the proteins, the healthy fats, the fiber, all that stuff is available in vegetables. And all those people out there that are questioning whether you can get enough protein from plants, absolutely. Almost all plants, fruits and vegetables, have protein in them. And they are complete proteins, which means they contain all of the essential proteins that our body needs. It needs them. They're called essential because our bodies can't make them from other proteins and other combinations. So all of those are in plants. Just try and make sure you're eating a rainbow of plants, from white onions to green leafies to nuts and seeds to beans and legumes to purples and reds. Eat a rainbow, and don't just focus on leafy greens, or don't just focus on broccoli. Nobody wants to do that. That gets boring. So have a bunch of stuff. Have different nuts, have different seeds, have different beans, have lentils, chickpeas, have some hummus. That's chickpeas make hummus. So just find a way to get more of the plants in and most of the animal stuff out. And we've already eliminated the ultra processed, so that's not a big deal. We're not snacking on Doritos anymore. We're not popping a can of Pringles and shoving those back, so it's not a deal anymore. that part's not the problem. Now we need to just slowly move ourselves into this more and more plant-based diet. Now, because of being plant-based, there are 2 supplements that you will need to be conscious of adding as you become more and more plant-based. The first one is B12. Vitamin B12 is actually not a vitamin. I believe it's a bacteria. I might be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. I misspeak myself sometimes. But B12 we get principally from animal products. So unless you're going to eat your vegetables without washing them, like pull them straight out of your garden and just shake the dirt off of them, washing them removes any B12 that would have naturally occurred in the soil where you are growing the vegetables. So we need to be conscious of B12. Again, nutritionfacts.org, type in B12 and he will give you the exact dosage that you need. We're looking for, he'll debunk the nonsense between cyanocobalamin and methylcobalamin. We need cyanocobalamin, and it will give you the micrograms. If you're over 65, there's a much higher level of B12. If you're under 65, it's a pretty simple, easy dose to find. As a matter of fact, most of the doses I find are higher than what we need. B12 is water soluble, so if you don't need it, you pee it out. So it's not going to build up in your system and cause problems and things like that. Now, the second thing we need to think about is not that way. It can build up in your system, so you really need to find either a supplement or sea vegetables, and you need to be mindful of how much iodine is in them. And if you do a supplement, you want potassium iodine. So if you're getting away from salt, table salt, iodized salt, that's why it's iodized, is to make sure that we get our iodine in. It's a very small amount of iodine you need, so I want to say it's 150 micrograms a day. Most multivitamins, look at them, because some of them don't contain any iodine, and some of them have the 150 micrograms, which is all you need. You can take a multivitamin and you're good to go. If you like sea vegetables, look into some sea vegetables. 2 sheets of nori, which is what they wrap sushi in, 2 sheets of nori, if you like those and you want to snack on that or whatever, 2 sheets is 150 micrograms. It'll cover your iodine. I don't care for seafood, and I also don't care for sea vegetables because the old nose knows. I can't stand the smell of that stuff, so I don't eat fish, shellfish, kelp, any of those things that grow in the sea. So we need to be mindful of B12. We need to be mindful of iodine. So once you're getting close to week 12, if you don't like sea vegetables, find yourself either a multivitamin that contains 150 micrograms of iodine, or find a potassium iodine supplement that's around 150 micrograms so that you are getting it. Because you can get some iodine from vegetables depending on the soil that they're grown in. If the soil is depleted and it doesn't have iodine in it, then there's going to be no iodine in the plant. So better safe than sorry. Just don't overdo it with iodine. You need 150 micrograms a day, and that's that. Again, you can jump over to nutritionfacts.org, type in iodine, and watch a couple of 4 or 5 minute videos, and you'll know all you need to know about iodine. And he explains it way better than I do anyways. And he's funny too. So I'm not that funny. I try to have fun with this, but I'm not that funny. So B12, iodine, covered those. So if you're struggling with giving up the animal protein, if you're wanting a burger, or you're wanting some bacon in the morning, or you're wanting sausages in the morning, or whatever it happens to be, try some of the fake meats. I've had a lot of them, and they're not bad. So in terms of tasting and texture, like, I hate to say it, but an Impossible Whopper to me actually tastes better than a Whopper at Burger King. So Try those. Throw them in because they are plant proteins. They're not animal proteins. So if you need to use them as a crutch while you're making this leap over to more plant-based, and you may need them just to fill in some meals while you're trying to figure out, hey, what vegetables and fruits do I like to eat? Maybe, coming up with some new combinations of different things. They're perfectly fine. It's not a long-term solution, but if you need to use them, they're there. Most of them are in the freezer section. Sometimes there's a refrigerated section of some of that stuff. Use them. Just grab them and go. Just be mindful of the healthy fat thing. I mean, I wouldn't recommend going and grabbing some chicken nuggets that you got to deep fry or hopefully you air fry them, because air frying is way better for you. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's going to have some residual oil in it that may not be so great. So let's, if you need a burger, or you need some bacon, or you need some sausages with your breakfast once in a while, grab that stuff. It will help bridge moving from animal protein to plant-based protein. And it's okay to take a slow approach to this. Maybe just pull that animal protein out one day a week to start with. Maybe a couple of meals at different times during the week. The point is to get used to it. Remember, we do things slow here. We don't just go, no, not doing that no more. Now, I pretty much have, but I've done this before. So I've been on the blueprint before. I know how it goes. I knew week 12 was coming. I actually just said, you know what? I'm just not even going to bother. I'm just going to go back to plant-based, and I'm going to be down to that 1 to 2 meals of animal stuff, if that, from this point forward. Remember, I'm not preaching vegetarianism. I'm not preaching veganism. The main reason I don't preach veganism is because you can have a Twinkie and some Oreos and some non-dairy things and have yourself a nice big old frickin' meal out of unhealthy crap that's actually vegan. So main thing is to stay away from ultra processed. Comes in a box or a wrapper, think. So try something new. If you've never had a vegetable, jump on the internet and look up a recipe and go, hey, I saw this at my grocery store. How would I prepare this? What does it go well with? Try something new. There's nothing wrong with trying something new. I didn't eat a whole lot of vegetables when I was younger, so just about everything has been trying something new. So just try something new. Don't be afraid to, spend a couple of bucks and buy something that you've never tried before, and you might surprise yourself. It might be something you really enjoy. So as far as the activity is concerned, keep striving to reach new milestones in your activity. And what I mean by that is, don't overdo it, but walk that extra 10 feet, walk that extra couple of minutes, do some rebounding, do some weight bearing exercises that you can just do, put some squats in your day somewhere, do some push-ups against a wall or against the stairs so that you're at more of an angle and makes it easier for you to do. Just look for ways to incorporate moving in every day. So just continually be conscious of those things, like, hey, I haven't moved in an hour. What can I do in 30 seconds to get a little movement in? That's fine. The goal is 30 minutes of exercise, 7 minutes. Let's try 7 days a week. 30 minutes of exercise, 7 days a week. You want to be moving your body, even if it's just going for a 30-minute walk. And here is a tip. The research shows that if you take a 30-minute walk before breakfast in the morning, it actually affects how much fat you burn for the next 24 to 48 hours. So I'm not saying go out and hit hardcore gym activity when you're in a fasted state. But if you get up in the morning and you put your 30-minute walk in before you have breakfast, there are some scientifically proven benefits to that. And also, the earlier in the day that you do your 30 minutes of exercise, not only is it done for the day, but it does also feed into that chronobiology too. Exercise in the morning has been proven to be more effective for calorie burn and fat loss than later in the day. So get your 30 minutes of exercise in, work yourself up to 7 days a week. There's still some days that I don't, or still some weeks that I don't hit 7 days a week, but I try. And that's the important part, is I'm trying and I'm continuing to do the things that I do. Didn't go for a walk today because it's storming and my dog hates rain. She hates water, actually. Any kind of water, except the one she drinks out of her bowl. That's perfectly fine. But she won't go anywhere near a pool, won't go anywhere near a sprinkler, won't go anywhere near rain. So I'm not sweet enough to melt. I could have walked in the rain. I don't care, but she's not walking for it. And I can't leave my house without my dog for a walk. If you have a dog, you know what that's like. So try varying what you do from day to day. If you're getting a little bit bored on your walk, try doing, a little bit longer rebounding session, a little more weight bearing exercise. You can do weight bearing exercises for 30 minutes. Just modify what you're doing and keep track of your time. The goal is 30 minutes of movement. It does not have to be walking. Walking is just a simple place for those of us with large amounts of weight to lose to start. And we're going to be doing it the rest of our lives. So why not get better at it? Why waste our time going to the gym and climbing stairs if we don't climb stairs that often? And we definitely don't climb 30 floors of stairs that often. Why go and lift weights at the gym if you're not going to continue lifting weights for the rest of your life? Because it really is a move it or lose it. When you stop working out, you stop lifting weights, you start losing that muscle over time. So why build it if it's not going to be a lifelong activity? Walk. Do some push-ups. Do some squats. Do some lunges. I have bad knees. Squats and lunges are very difficult for me to do. So as I continue to get weight off, hopefully those things will get easier for me to do, because they're real simple ways to throw in 30 seconds to a minute of doing something throughout your day. But try to get your 30 minutes of exercise in the morning, and best case scenario prior to breakfast in the morning. So that's what I have for step 7. Stick with it. Stick with it and keep evolving and growing and becoming healthier. So, I got to put it up here. I want to keep this stuff free. Please, if you guys find value, help me out. Buy a coffee or 2 or 3 or whatever you can afford. Help me keep this free, because I know there was a time in my life that no matter how bad I thought I wanted to be a part of a weight loss program, I simply didn't have the extra money to spend on it. And there are people out there that are like that. People that this may change their lives the way that it changed mine. So help me keep it free. Buy me a coffee or 2 or 3 or whatever it is that you can do, and let's get this out to the world. Remember to subscribe and to give the old thumbs up, and that lets YouTube know, hey, you know what? This guy's maybe got something good to share with the world. So let's help spread this around. If you want to know something, I'm dropping a Q&A video, so hopefully that'll answer some of the questions. But please, if you have questions, drop me a comment. I try and answer all my comments in 24 to 48 hours. And I will see you guys. Come along for the journey, because it's going to be one hell of a journey. Hasta luego.